Welcome back to talknorth.com. Thank you for listening. If you can, please download before you listen. It helps our business. I'd also like to thank our producer, Brandon Morton, and let you know if you'd like to sponsor this program or any of the programs on the network. You can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. This is the Russo-Souhan Show. We are live at Dulono's Pizza in downtown Minneapolis, 118 4th Street. That's 4th with the numeral 4, right by Ramp C, right by lots of parking. You need to come out and check out this place. We actually have beer specials going on tonight. They have already had their happy hour. They're also doing 2-for-1 Michelob and Bud Lights. So basically you're drinking for $1.50 a beer, which I don't think you can get anywhere else. Thanks to Dulono's Pizza for hosting us. They also have a huge delivery area, so check them out if you ever want to eat elsewhere. Also come here. I know Michael likes their lunch buffet. They have bubble hockey. They have jukeboxes, everything else. So thanks to Dulono's Pizza. This is our hockey show on talknorth.com. Michael, how was the fair?
The fair was good. I was there more than I've ever been in my life, actually. Just doing a bunch of stuff for the fan over there, and actually walked around on Labor Day. It wasn't as busy as people think. The holiday.
It was like 2 million people.
But I mean, the holiday, they didn't all come on the Labor Day. But we had Bruce Boudreau co-hosted a show with me for 3 hours on the fan, and he was all worried.
Has he filed a grievance?
Yeah, I know. He was all worried that it was going to be crazy, and I kept on telling him that I've always heard that Labor Day isn't nuts there because people are closing up the they're one last hurrah at the cabins. Kids are going back to school the next day, so it's like it's not as busy, and it was very comfortable there. But man, as Bruce a sport, trekked down there on Labor Day and hosted the show and story after story, and he's a man of the people, man. He's handing out cookies and taking pictures and I mean. Just telling story after story. Yeah, it was awesome. Vicky was there and was great. Answered a Bruce Boudreau trivia question dead on accurately. It was just amazing how she got that right. And, it was fun.
Nice crowd here tonight. We appreciate everybody coming out. I imagine the crowds will get even bigger as the season starts out. This is a nice crowd for a late summer, early fall evening when nothing's really happening in the hockey world. Thank you for being here. And we have Mary back.
Yeah.
She's been in Finland. She's been in Finland stalking Mikael Granlund. What is it? You have to be 100 feet away at all times or 200 feet away at all times? When do the officers start getting nervous? Okay. So she's bribed the officers. Obviously, she can stalk Mikael Granlund anytime she likes. Good to see you again, Mary.
She tweeted yesterday. I was tweeting pictures of guys on the elevator going down, up and down at practice, and she tweets me. She goes, "Mikael Granlund's not there, right? I know. I think he's in Finland." And I'm like, "You don't think you know? You know his entire flight information back. Is that your daughter next to you? Am I embarrassing you?"
Oh, we're going to embarrass the whole entire family.
How many kids do you have, Mary? And what's your name? You should come up to the mic. Yes.
Oh, by the way, we do have a mic for live questions. I know that Vicky's going to be asking one. Good to see Todd again as well. Vicky and Clyde. We have a lot of regulars here. Bert's here. Thanks for all of you for being here. And especially this time of the year, we love taking live questions. So please just walk up anytime you want and start a conversation with us. Are you done embarrassing Mary and her daughter?
I want to know. What's your name? Allison. So what do you think? I think you should come up to the mic. I think we should have a little heart-to-heart.
While Allison's coming up, I want to thank our other sponsors. So Dulono's Pizza, downtown Minneapolis. They also have a place in Woodbury you should check out. Twill in the Edina Galleria, the Scott Dayton's men's clothing store. Whizkids.tech, downtown Minneapolis technology firm that can help you and your business. Fixology Repair, fixologyrepair.com. And Tony Hoaglund, your State Farm agent in Champlin. And Michael, go ahead. Embarrass her.
Allison, how long has Mary absolutely adored Mikael Granlund?
Okay, so this actually frustrates me because I think I was a bigger Minnesota Wild fan before she became one. She used to not even really want to come to the games until, I don't know,
she saw
until they signed Mikael Granlund?
like 4 years ago. And then I just, like, started, like, when I was, like, 15, I was really embarrassed by her all the time. Because it'd be, like, every weekend, she'd be like, oh, you want to go? You want to go to Brema? You want to go watch them? I'm like, no, I'm okay. And, yeah.
Want to go to Michael's house?
Yeah, and, like, we'd be walking down. I remember one time in Excelsior, like, Pominville, who was on the team at the time, and Parisi were eating dinner, and she was like, "God, get a picture with them right now." I'm like, they're eating dinner. Of course, I ended up getting a picture with them, because that's her.
She actually is my kind of like my Granlund intel. I remember we were in Vegas, and I was getting together with Granlund and Koivu, and you were and I'm in Vegas, you're back here, and you're kind of like telling me, yeah, he's at the pool. He's at the, like basically to go find Granlund. So Mary is the person that I've talked a lot about on the podcast. That the funniest moment that I know of last season is when Granlund missed that the event at the beginning of the season when the players are the waiters. Yeah, Wild About Children, and all of a sudden Koivu sees Mary and FaceTimes Granlund with Mary there.
I have a video of her FaceTiming him. Actually, it's kind of funny.
So do the police.
Now, isn't it true that Granlund actually has a dog that he got from you or something? What's the story about this? Your dogs are what? Litter mates.
Dogs are litter mates. This is getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah. How'd this come about? We gotta translate because we are a podcast.
We need a spokesperson.
So they always wanted a French bulldog, and we already had one. We were getting another, and she just did. His girlfriend saw on Facebook or something about you getting one, and so then they got one from the same person.
You're jealous, aren't you? You're jealous of the love for Michaela Granlund.
No, it's like every time we go to an event, she's like who's closest in age to me? I have a boyfriend, but like Eric Snack or something. She was like, you gotta go talk to him. Like you gotta go talk. No. So.
Do you just coincidentally run into Granlund at movies and restaurants and stuff?
I don't, because I don't usually participate. I don't come to many wild things. Sorry.
What I like about this is
in the dog park.
What I like about this is no matter how hard we try to embarrass Mary, she's like, no, this is just what I do.
No, Mary's not embarrassed.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both
thanks
for being here.
We appreciate
it.
Just kidding.
To reset, this is our hockey show on talknorth.com. We have shows on pretty much everything you would want in the sports world, plus a business show. Check that out. Michael Russo writes for The Athletic. I write for the Star Tribune. We both appreciate our subscribers. Tell me about the elevator, because you sent a lot of very funny...
Well, it reminds me of Helsinki in 2010 when I asked Koivu, I couldn't remember the team, but I think we talked about it on last podcast, but it was Jokerit. The Wild in 2010 played the Carolina Hurricanes, and coincidentally, Stahl and Koivu were going down the elevator at the same time yesterday with Nate Prosser, and I asked them if they remembered this elevator when the Wild were practicing at that arena, and they'd have to take an elevator to go down into this essentially cave where they had a practice rink at Jokerit's arena to practice while the Wild were there for a week, before Carolina got there. And it's the same thing. So the Wild's practice facility, their locker room facilities, their gigantic locker room facilities are in the basement of the old Macy's building in St. Paul, and the practice rink is on the 5th floor. So players get in 2 elevators every single day in full gear, and we'll go up and down. And even worse is that the media is going to have to take those same disgusting, smelly elevators down after practice to go get them. And but the one in Jokerit was almost like a freight elevator. This one's just like 2 normal elevators.
That's what struck me. It looks awkward.
Yeah. And then it's funny. So, the one elevator on the right is express top to bottom. The fob is sort of deactivated, so they can just go on down. Well, Parisi, I trapped him and talked to him for 30 minutes yesterday. So he was going down well after his teammates. So he got into the left elevator. You couldn't get the right one to even come back up. I don't know if they turned it off. So then the left one, the fob wasn't deactivated. So this poor guy could not get to the locker room. So luckily, Matt Benz, one of their assistant equipment trainers, was still upstairs, so he was able to go down there. And then Matt gets in there, and he kind of sheepishly tells Zach, "This one's kind of exclusively for the trainers, because we have the fobs type thing." So it's going to be cool. it's going to change our job. I mean, I was kind of talking to Bruce about this yesterday. I mean, it's going to be, he even said, yeah, it's going to be a lot of you trying to break stories after the fact because, you know, a lot of this job, when you cover practice at the XL Energy Center is, you know, you're kind of leaning against a wall for an hour, keeping your eyes open, shooting the breeze with people and you know, frankly, again, keeping your eyes open. If all of a sudden Zach Parisi is, you know, walking around and he looks a little hurt or he is eating standing up, you know stuff, and you're able to put that color into articles. And now, I mean, we are going to be, you know, cattled right into the locker room, brought back upstairs. We're not going to get to kind of go around, talk to people, and be throughout the facility. So it's definitely going to change the way that the job's done now. It's going to be a lot more, you know, doing old-fashioned reporting to, I think, break stories. But I think it's going to be fun for them to have their own facility. It's state-of-the-art. They finally are caught up to a lot of teams. Heck, they're caught up to college teams. They got their own, you know, movie theater to watch video. They've got, you know, gigantic tubs of water and you know, hot tubs, cold tubs. You know, a track down there for doing all sorts of stuff. Their weight room is incredible. Bruce Boudreau joked on the podcast that I forgot to put this in my story today, but Boudreau posted said on the podcast that he jokingly asked for a golf cart because it's like 200 yards to get from his office to the locker room, and Paul Fenton told him, no, this is going to be your best means of actually getting in shape. That was pretty funny.
Let's talk a little bit more about the dynamics of covering the team. Do want to thank Twill in the Edina Galleria, twillmn.com, Twill, Twill on Instagram. This is a Twill shirt, and hey, if it looks good on me, it'll look good on anybody. That's my selling point here. And I actually bought this with my own money. This is not like a property thing. I went shopping with my wife who got it. It's a great place to buy gifts for the man in your life or to buy stuff for yourself. Check out twillmn.com.
Jim usually doesn't like to shop for clothes. I don't like it when he shops for clothes either, because he used to buy stuff I'd want to throw out. That's why I'm so glad he's found Twill in the Edina Galleria. He likes shopping there because of the comfortable environment and the friendly staff. He finds clothes that actually fit him properly and are high-quality brands that will look great for years, whether he's golfing or working. Our favorites so far are Peter Millar, Johnny O, and Barber. We spend our money at Twill because we love the clothes and we love the no-pressure shopping. Drop by Twill in the Edina Galleria for the best shopping experience and best clothes you'll find in the Twin Cities.
So what you're describing almost reminds me of when I covered the Vikings for a while, then I covered the Twins for a while, then I went back and covered the Vikings again. And in baseball, you just walked around and talked to people, and you always had a feel for what was going on. Just because you talked to some people face to face, and even if somebody didn't tell you something, you could read them. And then I went to the cover of the NFL, and it was the opposite. You broke almost all your stories by calling agents or calling, you know, people in the organization after hours because you just couldn't get places during the day.
Yeah, no, and so I mean, it's going to be. Hey, I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's
going to be like different. You're complaining.
It's just going to be different because, you know, a lot of the job is again keeping your eyes open, talking to people, shooting the breeze when a coach walks by. I mean, that stuff just is not going to happen anymore. So that stuff, you know, I am glad that they're going to be at XL Energy Center for morning skates because at least then, you know, you kind of get the access. But I was talking to, not to give out too much athletic inside chatter today, but I was talking to one of our recruiters in San Francisco today about our Carolina hire, and I was saying that, you know, I think that it's important that whoever we hire in Carolina, who's probably going to be a newbie, that this person travels, because the best part of the way, especially as a young journalist, that you learn how to cover a beat, develop relationship with players and stuff like that is to be on the road. You know, you and I know this better than anybody. That's where you develop relationships. At home, you know, these players they're going home to their wives. They're going. I mean, Parisi right now is telling me yesterday he can't breathe. You know, it's like he's just like dance to. You know, all of a sudden he's got 3 kids and he's going from dance to hockey to school, pick up this, do that, and so like all of a sudden, you know, at home you do that, but on the road these guys it's just like they're just hanging out. You know, you know, it's either hang out with you or go back to the hotel. And believe it or not, these guys would rather hang out and chat with you rather than go sit in their hotel room for all hours upon hours. So
Also, at home, there are like 85 reporters.
Yes.
70% of whom they really don't know. And on the road,
and if you're going to cover the Carolina Hurricanes, you're going to be the lone beat writer because the News and Observer doesn't practice. And you're going to have the Hurricanes.com writer there. So, I mean, I think